Hello YouTube, look above here. So I believe where I left off in part 1 was talking about how the headdress represents the different genetic material of the different gods um, that have visited us and bestowed these generous gifts upon us. However, the Mayans did not really see it that way. They saw it more as a burden that they had to carry. Um, Interestingly enough, the Bible refers to a yoke around our neck as well. Here it is again. This represents the genetic material. Now, they understood that there was, shall we say, a negative genetic influence represented by this snake on his head. Yeah, they really saw it as a burden, almost as if it was parasitic. Same thing here. Same thing here. Here's the serpent and the two side serpents. There's often three, which, you know, it's not just one race. It's not just one race. There's more than one. At least three have had input into our genetic makeup. Interestingly enough, the Bible says you've had 5 husbands and the one you live with now is not your husband. So that could be a reference as to how many different species, races have had influence on us over the course of time. Here it is again, 3, actually 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 inputs. These are the ovaries. This is the womb. This is the baby. Now I know you're thinking, how could I possibly say that this monster looking thing is the head of a baby? Well, if you study how the face of a fetus develops, yikes, this is what you get. I mean, it doesn't even look halfway human until right around here. Up until then, it's just completely alien looking. So probably this one right here is, yeah, that's what they're going for. Yep. That's probably a lot closer to what our gods might really look like. Yep. Say hello to mommy and daddy. There they are. Jeepers. This is almost exactly like the Egyptian head garment. I believe that is where this shape comes in. Now, one signature of the infant slash fetus in the womb that I forgot to bring up earlier is the black eye, and that also denotes which ones are the fetuses receiving the genetic input. As evident in this picture, it's this one right here. Of course, he has the legs crossed, the arms tucked, the dark eye. This one, however, even though he's standing, is, now I don't know if he's a fetus that they've already had input on, but this one over here too, the black eye, both those, they either indicate that they are somehow, these three are related in the womb, But this guy's the focus of this picture here. There's obviously seems to be some kind of competition or fight. This guy seems to be demanding to have his, here's the sperm, to have his DNA input. And this one apparently has some objections. I don't know what this tool is in his hand, but it all has to do with, you know, the genetic splicing and how it's done. These others, um, they they could represent fetuses that have already had input by these guys, um, or they could represent um, other gods wanting to have input. But yeah, there's definitely a discussion about whose genetic input is going to go into this baby here. Here as well, here we have another discussion. Here's the baby of focus. Whose DNA is he going to get? Um, you know, you can see there's definitely a fight for whose input. Same thing here with the, I don't know if this is Mayan or Aztec, but the baby in the womb, and, you know, now they see it more as they're bestowing these wonderful gifts, you know, um, upon us. These are the gods. Same thing here. This one is the infant, this because it's sitting, and this is the one that wants the, you know, to put the, give the genetic uh, input, and it's almost like they have to, I don't know, present their case, or, you know, like almost like a salesman or something, like, you know, this is what I have to offer, and then it's like, you know, it's has to be approved, you know, some form. I don't know if that, you know, this one has some kind of choice in it or not. The same thing here. This is the infant. This is what's being offered by him. This one more or less represents the womb. But yeah, this is what this guy has to offer. I have no idea really what it is or this, but this is undoubtedly him pouring out his gifts and blessings upon this infant. And that's what all this is. It's just, it's all genetic history. It's all genetics. I mean, they're not hiding it. It's been in our face for quite some time. Once again, this is the infant that's in the womb, and this is what's being offered. Um, and, you know, I'm not sure if these two are wanting to have input, um, or if they need to approve it, but this one's the one on the receiving end. But as you can see, all this, it tells the story. It's just that it's been misinterpreted. Um, but this is it. I mean, they tell the whole story here. Here, once again, this is the infant. This is obviously the genetic material that has come forth out of the sperm, and, you know, is being offered. This, this here is also a signature that's held by the fetus receiving the genetic material, and this circular thing represents like a, a vector for gene splicing. Here we go again. This is the infant. This is one of the gods offering up all these wonderful things that the sperm here carries. You know, we see it as genetic material. They see it as just I mean, one gift after another, apparently. Same thing here. This is, of course, the fetus, baby in the womb, and these two are, you know, collaborating on who's going to have what input. Same thing here. Fetus. These two are having the input. Here, these two are having a discussion about, you know, the genetic material. This, of course, is the fetus. It's combining the genetic makeup of this one, genetic makeup of this little one, into one new creation. And the genetic code and the genetic keys. And this is just a quick diagram of how the genes are spliced. Cut and paste, basically. And these are just symbols that we use today. And, you know, with them not knowing what language was going to be years into the future, you know, it would make sense that they also would use symbols to describe, you know, the story and the history of our genetic makeup. This, of course, Egyptian serpent headpiece, these, of course, are the genes and the DNA. This is the head of the sperm. This is the neck, and then the tail. As you can see, this is DNA, and it's very consistent with the shape and colors of all the Egyptian jewelry and headdresses and attire. Same here, it's all the Egyptian patterns. It's all related to gene codes and DNA. There's just more symbols. There's more symbols. This just represents the passing down of the genes. This is just the splicing of the genes right here. This just represents the gods wanting equal input. You know, the Bible talks about you've been weighed in the scales, in the balance of the scales, and you've been found wanting. It talks about iniquity. I just can't help but wonder if there's a connection here. There's always a scale. It's as if the genes have to match. There has to be a match. It seems like it might not be the easiest thing in the world to find. I believe this is a representation of a cell, the nucleus, and just some of the other things inside of a cell. More than likely it's a sperm cell, but nevertheless, they had knowledge of things on a microscopic level that we cannot see with the naked eye. So, obviously, you know, someone had the technology to see on a cellular level. This is just cells, you know, microscopic stuff, cell tissue. Just another God bestowing the gift and genetic material. There's the winged disc. The pyramid is the sperm. You see, this is the womb. Like this is the, yeah, that. This tells all about it. If only, you know, it was correctly interpreted over time. But in the night. Same thing. This is those wings of Isis. Here they are again. It's the womb, the fetus, the ovaries.